This is Soundoff 60.
I want to make sure that the best team is the champion.
Yeah.
I want to play.
And that's key.
If that tournament comes up with this is the best team, I'm for that.
Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show.
With me? Without me. All
That
right.
might be the dumbest argument we've ever had.
You
I like
are
the way he
most
does that.
idiotic imbecile if you thought that argument did not have merit. Look, did not.
All right,
McCarron.
So you're talking about my LSU quarterback?
Yeah.
You put
With me, without me.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Glad to have you aboard for another edition of Soundoff 60 at Jack Daniels Lauberge Casino. We got another full show, fun show, controversial show.
Yes,
I don't want to
we do.
continue to repeat myself, but that's the way it's going to be tonight.
It is.
Okay, because it's been a
And
long
there are a
weekend and
couple
a lot
calls,
of
yeah.
football to talk
what was
about.
controversial?
Huh?
Oh,
We got some controversy.
We got it.
Saints Patriots. Oh, there's controversy.
Well, you do know why he's bringing the Saints up, right? But you know what, Rick? Honestly,
Saints Patriots, there's controversy.
and I know we're going to come back to the Saints, but
Okay.
what disappointed me somewhat was that it seems like the Saints had a perfect opportunity to stamp
Put
their
it away.
mark to say, you know what, we are for real. And when
Oh, they're
you
for
let
real.
them,
Come on, Kevin.
Well,
Come on,
think
I'm going to
they
stop
are.
you
they
right
are
there.
for real. But let me just say this though, Rick, when you play like that, Rick, suspect starts to sit in and say, well, what made them do
It's the
that?
NFL, Kevin.
That-
You play
exactly
it.
what
I
exactly what
understand
I was going to
but
say.
Scooter.
It's the NFL. Sometimes you're going to make good calls and good decisions, and sometimes you're going to have execution and not. We're going to
Look,
bounce
The other
around.
team-
Look.
The other teams are millionaires too, you know.
Well, I understand, but you know
they
what,
can
though?
make plays.
The other team had pretty much accepted the fact
I
that
mean,
the
look-
Saints were
look
going to beat them.
up.
To me, the way it looked.
They had 'em beat. They had 'em beat.
That's my point.
They had 'em
Jabari
beat.
Greer misses tipping that pass by what? That much. I mean,
Now you're the first to
So
bring
you're
up the
saying that
fact.
justifies the Saints losing?
no, I'm just
No.
saying it happens.
No, I'm
It
saying
doesn't mean they're off the face of the earth.
No, it
we
doesn't.
all agree
No.
in critical times of a game, it does come
Scooter,
down to simple stuff.
let me
the coaches
just-
say it all
let
the
me-
time,
let me
and it's
just
not
tell you.
cliche-ish. You gotta
Let me
make
just
a
tell you.
play.
Let me just tell you what
And
you and Scooter
sometimes you
are
do,
totally
sometimes
wrong.
We're going to talk about all the
Let me
Saints.
just
Oh,
say-
no, no,
but
no. I
just
want to
real
bounce
quick-
around.
I
but
have
let
a
me
lot
just-
to say.
I know, he's bouncing.
But let me just tell you and Scooter both why you're so wrong. This is what it is.
I thought you said while
In-
you're sober.
Why you're so wrong. No, why you're so wrong. And what you're saying about it's just a game, those things happen. Yes, they do. The golden rule as a defensive back is what? Never let your opponent get what?
Behind you.
you.
And I'm sure you never
Period.
did you?
That happened.
Okay. It happened.
What did I say? It happened.
But,
It happened.
but the thing is, you know that's what, guys? Seconds left in the game. Come on now.
You know, look,
Here
before
it is right here.
There it is, right there.
You know, look, before
He was beat, though. He really was beat. Look,
Well, look, he
he really
came
was
back
we're
beat.
watching the big screen.
He really
here
was
at
beat by
Lauberge
these
and
five
Jack
yards.
Came
Daniels.
that close.
Yeah,
He
and
was
look,
beat. He
look,
was
I'm
beat.
not gonna.
You're not beat. It
That-
took a perfect pass.
It was a perfect throw, and look.
Well, you had a guy that's been throwing those for what,
I don't
15
want to
years?
sound. I don't want to sound like a homer. I thought the receiver got a little extra separation,
Oh,
but it was a
stop it,
good
Rick.
no call. It's
Stop
not
it,
going to
Rick.
get called.
How many of the Saints got on them early before that
Well,
call?
I got all
You are
kind of
so
texts
anti-Saints.
today, and I meant to if
You're
they'll-
so anti-Saints.
Could we bring that up again?
Yeah,
That
we're
every- you
talking
know,
to the big
So
screen.
now all the Saints fans, there was holding on that
Yeah,
play.
Scooter, you are exactly
There
right.
was.
Scooter.
Just
I
holding
saw-
on every
But
I
Rick,
know,
that's
but
on
this
every
was
play.
blatant. This was. Look, I'm all for
You're
the
reading too
basketball.
many YouTubes. Stay off the YouTube,
No,
okay?
no. I don't read YouTube. No,
on
it was,
YouTube
it
too
was
much.
a holding
Stay off of
call.
YouTube.
It could have been called and
Coulda
should
went
have
both
been
ways.
called.
Yeah.
On the left tackle for the Patriots. But in the end zone, it was a good no call. Yes, on something that blatant, it's
Yeah.
kind of like basketball. The thing that really did the Saints in offensively, and this is right up your alley. Belichick put those guys in press coverage, man-to-man, right up in their face mask, and threw their routes completely off.
You had to, Rick.
Jimmy Graham,
You had to.
no receptions.
None.
That was
Can you
great
believe that?
strategy.
Oh, it was.
Great strategy
You
by
put
New
your
England.
best player on their best
And I'm going to
player.
get into
That's
that
what you
later
do.
in the full Saints
That's
segment
what you
on
do.
how you win. LSU and Florida. The little throwback,
I didn't see
17-6
that coming.
was the final
Yeah,
score.
didn't either.
Does this help LSU in regards to, yes, we can win these kind of games.
Yeah.
And we got to get
Well,
to the knockdown
not
dragon.
so much win these kind of
Yeah.
games, but I mean their defense played good.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not going to tell you that Florida's offense is Texas A&M or Oregon.
No.
It's not anywhere
No.
close.
No.
And LSU had the luxury It didn't look like Florida was going to take the shots
Exactly,
downfield,
right.
that kind of thing. They
Right.
I don't think they trust that quarterback.
No, they don't. He's young.
But be that as it may, LSU won the line of scrimmage. I haven't seen them do that really.
Defensively?
Defensively
And
and
offensively?
offensively.
Okay. 175 yard
Everybody's
rushing.
talking about the defense. I was as much impressed, and we can talk about this later when we talk about LSU. The steps LSU's offensive line made.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was huge.
LSU's defense. How
They
can
got
they
some
take
talent.
this game, Kevin, and catapult it to the level that they need in preparation for the Aggies and Crimson Tide?
Rick, I'm going to say yes. Let me just answer one of the questions. When you look at LSU right now, and I want to focus more so on defense in the secondary, early on, you got young players, active, can run like the wind. You just need to put them, and I think this is what Chavis has done. Chavis is starting to simplify things a little bit more now because you've got athletes that are just God-given talented all around the block. So he's saying, let's not make this hard, guys. Let's play base coverage and just play. Instead of worrying about
You
the
think
checks.
that's what happened?
Oh, it changes.
I'm not arguing
the
with
secondary.
you.
But I mean, you saw the secondary?
Oh, yeah.
They were making calls. They were being in places where they should be.
Right.
They had an opportunity to have 3 picks, drop both of them. One just went through his hands.
Well, you know, Miles,
I mean,
Miles at his press luncheon today brought up an interesting point. He said, they're playing 3 or 4 true freshmen.
a lot of them.
And a bunch of sophomores who really haven't played college football. I'm talking about not necessarily the starters, but,
Right.
defense, it's a 2-deep game. And he says, you got to remember, when these guys are in high school, they make every play.
Yeah.
If they don't, nobody else does.
You're exactly right.
And it's different. They have to learn. They have to play their position. And sometimes what you do by playing your position is allow a teammate to
Yes,
play.
it
That's a
is.
good point.
Yes,
No,
it
that's-
is.
that's a good
And
point.
he says,
Yeah.
it's like maybe that little light bulb went off.
And guys, that's looking at it. I think they're going to be just fine. But I'm seeing now, they're seeing now, let's not make this hard, guys. If we're going to be in cover 3, if we're going to be pressing 1, and if we're going to play zone 2 deep, let's just play our positions and be where we need to be, and we're going to make plays. Now, the thing that I want to ask you about is that I guess we all watch sports, ESPN. I saw the post-game interview with Les Miles. I want you.
I
Did
did not
he
see
go
it.
off on what?
What
Well,
did,
you
quickly,
know,
what did he
Kevin-
go off on?
Well, Kevin,
he go
I'll
off
tell you
on
how
what?
it happened. You don't see the first part. I actually asked the question
What?
that kind of got. I didn't ask the hammer and nail question. But here's the way it started. I'll go through the story. You hadn't seen it?
No, I've not
Oh,
seen it.
Rick, it's off the chain.
It's one of it's one of Les moment. I asked the question. I said, Les, did you think you could win a game like this? And he said, you betcha. and I just kind of blurted out. I said, well, I didn't.
Yeah.
And so Les kind of laughed, and he said, well, I'm sorry, Scooter. You didn't think we could win. I guess you didn't pick us in our picks
Yeah.
your picks column this morning, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But he was kind of laughing about it. And I said, no, really. I mean, y'all hadn't shown a game like this. And so he got going again. Well, the very next question from Jeff Duncan of New Orleans, good friend of mine. He asked him, roles were reversed. Last year, y'all were the nail and they were the hammer.
Oh, yeah.
And it was good nature. You know how Les
yeah,
is.
yeah, it was.
He wasn't ripping.
No.
I've seen one story saying he was ripping into a report. He wasn't ripping in. Although Jeff and I were laughing afterwards, Jeff says, I don't get it. You say it is funny. I say it and it's a tirade.
So Rick, you gotta see it, but I mean, you
what
gotta
did he
see it,
go
though.
off on? I mean, give me a paraphrase of
The hammer and nail thing.
the analogy.
The analogy of that last year, Florida out physical
yeah, kinda put the hammer
manhandled a
to
little
him.
bit, which they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Kinda put the
can
hammer to
deny
him.
it all
Yeah.
he
Right,
wants, but
right.
Florida did win the physical battle.
So he got
And
animated and
LSU
he got
did.
Oh,
what did he do?
he
Rip his
said-
shirt off and show his
He
biceps?
said, let me tell you.
what a hammer and a nail is.
Oh, I gotta see
this.
this.
was
Oh,
just
you got
two
to.
quality teams.
Yeah.
Got the
And
quality
they-
word in,
and
got the
you
quality word in.
know when the four-letter word starts looking out, you know Les
He
is
kept
on
it going.
Really?
He kept it going for a while.
ESPN, now ESPN did one version where they bleeped out every third word. They overdid it. They were trying to make it sound like
it was more than what it really was.
But there were 4 or 5 little barnyard
I like that.
slips.
See, you get that kind of passion.
Yeah.
You know,
And it does.
remember a couple of weeks ago, the Iowa State coach, you know, and of course Mike Gundy, the infamous Oklahoma State. You get that. I like that kind of passion, and it's going to come out on the college level more so than the NFL level.
It is.
You know, all right.
But the thing about it with Les is, I don't ever remember him going on a rant after a loss. It's always after a win.
Really?
You know, I don't ever remember him going on a rant after a win.
Go figure. Yeah. Go figure. All right, we're up against the clock. When we come back, we're going to talk about McNeese State and Sam Houston. Big homecoming matchup. Is it the biggest regular season game for McNeese, say, in the last 5 or so years? It could very well be.
And
that's
on
how big
homecoming.
this
How do you pick
homecoming
that game?
And you got the two-time defending champ
On
of the conference
homecoming.
coming in. So we got that to talk about, more about the Saints and LSU, and some other things going on. This committee finally named. I've been waiting for this for like 10 years. The NCAA playoff committee is set for the season 2014.
And you have it.
We'll, compliments of Newspaper Boy. We've got some of the names on it, but
Scooter
we'll get
always
into that
comes through
way
for us.
later on in the show. We'll do that and more when we come back in about 2. Come back to Jack Daniels with us. Thank you there.
Soundoff 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see all the blue tags. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from all over Cameron, Hackberry, Southeast Texas, even from across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Iowa. So it's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us. Like right now, we have big closeout savings on all our new 2013 Ford cars. $3,000 off MSRP on Focus, Fusion, Fiesta, Taurus, even Mustangs, $3,000 off. So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Grab me one. It's Miller time!
But what if one of your crew is Ken Jung?
Zoink! What's with the pig? Wait.
No way! The pig! Did you teach him that?
Yeah, I did. Sorry I'm late. I came straight from work.
Man, this line's ridiculous.
No joke.
King,
I'm that guy from that thing! Give me one. Miller one. Man, hey, wait.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60. Want to make sure you know that karaoke is here at Jack Daniels on Tuesday nights now. The infamous and / famous David Verrett runs the show, does a great job. If you want to have fun, there's a lot of karaoke around South Louisiana.
They quit doing it on Monday. They were scared we were going to take over the mic.
That and Monday Night Football. So you can't compete against Monday Night Football. So karaoke, fun nights here at Jack Daniels. Great food, great bar specials, great music, great karaoke with David Verrett here at Jack Daniels every Tuesday night. And of course, you got the lovely ladies of Lauberge and Jack Daniels serving up some great grub. So come on down and have a great night here at Jack Daniels. It's always fun. All right, what I mean by controversy in regards at Foxborough Stadium, later on in the show, these two guys are going to kind of twist the tables and do a little interview on me. Word's gotten out, and factually so, that I was able to be honored by getting a seat on the charter plane. So I flew up with the team.
Saints charter.
The Saints charter plane. I was at the hotel.
They flew over here and got you, huh?
Pardon?
They flew over here.
No, they didn't. I had to go all the way over there. But they're going to go. They're going to ask me some do's and don'ts and have a little fun about going on the Saints charter plane and kind of getting a glimpse of backstage. Unfortunately, it wasn't hard Hard Knocks, guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the locker room
Yeah.
and in the team meetings, which would have been really fun. But it was a great trip. What I mean by controversy is, yes, the no call there on the holding, but really what got me, because I'm a guy that leads up to the critical points in games.
Right.
And what
Now, I'll grant you, the Saints didn't get many breaks with the officials.
No, they did not.
No.
Particularly at the end of the first half, that when they called them for illegal procedure.
Yes.
But that's life on the road.
But that's a pendulum. It goes back. You get a bad call, and then you get a call that can go either way. But what bothered me was, and again, back to our earlier comment about Belichick and his defensive strategy, getting up, and that's clean up your alley.
It is.
I mean, they were throwing the receivers offline, but my problem was, Kevin, I ISO'd many times, just my naked eyeball, if you will, and I saw contact well beyond 5 yards.
Oh, it happens all the time.
7, 8, 10 yards, they were dragging Colston down and things like this. And it's kind of like, again, in a basketball analogy. You got to figure out what the refs are going to call, and I guess Belichick's smart enough to tell his DBs, do it. If they start calling it tight, if you will, back off. But if they don't call it tight, let's play rough. Why didn't the Saints do that?
I don't know, Rick. And the
Why
thing is,
don't you play more in your face?
Partly because, Rick, the Saints don't have enough guys that I'm just thinking.
Maybe they're not as big.
To say that they're not
That
as maybe as
Talib
good
guy,
one-on-one.
that Talib guy, now
to
he
be
got
as
hurt.
big as he is and to
He's a
be
big
able
man.
to cover the way this
He's a
guy
big
does,
man.
Whoever let him go is crazy. Who
Tampa
let him
Bay.
go? Crazy.
Well, he's kind of nutty. But that's
Well,
another
at the
story.
end-
He's
at
got
the
some
end of the
issues off the
day,
field.
Let's let him play, though.
You know, let's face it, the Saints almost stole one.
What?
I think they got outplayed for the most part.
I don't know what game you watched.
Don't forget.
I don't know which game you watched.
Don't
Well, Scooter's
forget
talking about the first two
the
quarters.
Saints.
The first and
New
second
England
quarter.
had 7 drop
the
passes.
Saints
They got
won.
no
Scored
14
14
people.
points.
Brady
The
was
Saints-
throwing in the dirt.
I know.
Stephen Ridley, ironically, LSU guy, comes to life. He comes to life.
Well, he's
He
been
did.
playing.
But
He did.
he's not the
The
starter.
Saints
He
scored
comes
on
off the bench.
3rd and 20 to go ahead.
Great throw. But that's the Saints.
Point,
They can do that.
My point is, that's just, you know what it almost reminded me of? I'd sit there, I swore, the last 3 minutes of that game took an hour and a half to play.
Yeah.
It was
Easy.
like the last minute of an NBA playoff game.
Yeah. Much
I
like
mean,
basketball again.
play. All right, 10 seconds gone.
Yeah.
They could. I mean, how many possessions were there in the last 3 minutes? Like
A lot.
6?
And that's unfortunate. With Sean Payton, again, Monday morning quarterback, guys, here we are
I
again.
got one problem.
Well,
Was he too conservative
Rick,
on
he
the
was.
final drive?
He
Rick,
was,
you know
not
it
on the
was. You know
final
it was.
drive. I think on
The two before. Look at those two
Well,
before.
he scored the touchdown. He scored the touchdown. You're
That
talking
was-
about on the one they got
No,
on the
no.
downs when
Well,
when they kicked the field goal.
Plus, the thing that gets me, Rick, it looked like he was playing just to get the win because it didn't seem like New England was going to do anything that was going to cause us any type of a panic. Probably because they had 3 and out too. So we go 3 and out too. Plus we'll get it back. We'll kick the field goal. Why not just chunk one downfield and say, hey, we're not done? But you kept it all close.
They took all that away.
Well, no. Not with Colston. No, not with Colston was fine.
Not
Jimmy
much,
Graham.
man,
Jimmy
not
Graham went out. I don't know what happened with Jimmy Graham, man. I don't know.
He had a foot injury. All right.
But the Saints
Not in
were
the first
up.
2 quarters.
No, not in the first two. They shut him down. They shut him down.
My whole thing was when I looked at it, it's like, you got to look at Belichick. You got to say this guy been doing this for a while. It's a smart
I
coach,
wondered,
man.
you would call him Belichick a kid?
Smart coach, man. I mean,
Speaking of that,
Rick,
speaking
smart
of
guy.
that, 4th and 5, inside around his 30. He goes for it.
Yeah, that
Smart
brought
or
back
not?
some flashbacks.
I couldn't.
He did it before.
I know
was
he did it a
surprised
couple
he
years
did
ago.
it,
He
but
did
I
it before.
wasn't shocked.
That blew me away.
I was
All right,
surprised.
The Saints, that is when the Saints were up by 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Saints got the ball.
And then they kicked that field goal.
And I had no problem with them playing for the field goal then.
Didn't either, but they shouldn't have
You
thrown
know, I
the
went
ball.
on my rant
Run the
last
ball.
week.
Keep the clock
There's
running.
a huge difference between a 1-point lead and a 4-point lead. That much I get. So to make sure they got a field goal there, I got. It was the next time they got the ball. I guess that wasn't the last time. It wasn't the last time.
I think
the
it
next
was.
to last time they had the ball. I think that. Well, maybe it was when they were up by 1.
Rick,
I
look.
would have been more aggressive because that's still. No,
You still
they
did- you still
got the
wasn't up.
ball with a 3-point lead in Patriot territory.
With like 6 minutes left.
And they weren't very aggressive in going
Look, let me
for
explain
the
to you.
touchdown.
Look, this is what happened. Rick, Anytime, Rick, you get the ball back twice opposed to your opponent, and you only walk away with 6, and you still make it a one-possession game, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything, Rick.
You need to get a touchdown.
You know what I mean when I say that? You didn't do anything. You got to make it at least a 1.5 possession type game when it's that close.
But New England's receivers, you can't pick them out on a lineup. They're nobody.
They're
nobody.
You're right, Rick.
And
You're right.
Brady wasn't having a great game.
You're right.
Well, do you think the Patriots fans recognized any of those guys that scored for the Saints yesterday?
Maybe 1 or 2. That's it. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, good point. I mean,
this,
again, they shut down the stars.
Here's my point. I don't know. Like I said, I would have been a little more aggressive when they had the ball in a 4-point lead. Instead of just trying to run time, or maybe it was a 1-point lead. But anyway, I would have been more aggressive. They had a chance, because I remember they had a chance to go up by 11.
Yes.
And end this thing.
Or run the clock out. There was a play, and I
understand
again,
you're trying to run
from
clock.
my vantage point in the stadium, I watched it, and granted, the stadium didn't show every replay, unfortunately. Right. Breeze, again, the critical drive that could have ended the game. This is under a 1.5 minutes to play. Right. He does a little, look like a bootleg out to the, he's literally running to his left side.
I like that.
But there had to be a broken play because my eye went to the secondary. Meacham's coming across this way. He had nobody to throw to.
Right.
He had nobody to throw to.
The plan was
to run.
They were hoping to totally catch him off and Breeze run for it. I think it was a
okay. I'd have to look at it again.
I don't know.
It looked like a broken play.
Like you, at first, I was kind of looking for the receiver.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
But I think the plan was, the yardage didn't really matter unless he was going to get it. I think the plan was if they could fake him out and get it. But my point was, I don't, it's kind of a meltdown. The crazy thing, there were 6 possessions in the last 3 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and not enough time.
But I don't really know what the Saints did wrong.
Rick, didn't run out of time.
You're talking about Monday.
Didn't run out of time on the clock.
Where could they have
got
run
to
more?
get a first down.
You got to get a first down.
But the Saints can't run the ball. We know that. I mean, they ran the ball better yesterday, but they're still not going to run it when you know they're running.
Figure out a play.
But before we go to break, let's talk about this too.
Play.
In the deal where Breeze was trying to call timeout, why did he make a move on the play if he was trying to call timeout? Why did he just stick to that and say, ref?
Because the ball was on the ground, or it would have been on the ground. They snapped the ball.
I wasn't sure. He called timeout before the ball was snapped.
There were some crazy things going on with the refs.
I didn't get that call.
All right, let's leave it there.
We'll
try to get back to the Saints because, Kevin, I want to get on prevent defense. I got to get back on prevent defense.
We have to talk about
because
you
again,
think it was true prevent defense?
It was true prevent defense, and in 20 seconds, Brady goes from his 32 to the Saints 36.
A lot of times, people confuse prevent defense with desperate offense. An offense with nothing to lose is a different animal.
But Scooter, the point is, prevent defense, you're only trying to keep them in front of you. That's the whole object of it.
How many yards is enough to get up? That's my point. All right, when we come back, we'll get on McNeese and Sam Houston and maybe get a little around the NFL, some other things going on.
We'll still talk about some more prevent.
And back to the LSU game, and I want to do some poll watching. Interesting upsets in college football. I think it's the time of year you got to start eyeballing the polls and who's where. Got some good games coming up, too. We'll do that and more when we come back. So Jack Daniels, stay right there.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Beglis Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatments you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
All right, welcome back to the show. We've covered some interesting ground with LSU and also the New Orleans Saints, and we'll get back on the LSU because they've got a big game in Oxford, Mississippi against snake-bit Ole Miss. Yeah. We'll get into that. Let's talk about McNeese and Sam Houston. Cowboys off, Bearcats not. Tough game with Lamar, 14-3. Yeah. I don't know if it was just a trap game for Sam Houston or if Lamar's coming around.
I don't know.
But that score, I did not know anything about the game, but that surprised me. That one kind of surprised me. So you got the two-time conference champion Bearcats coming in, two-time national championship game finalists. Granted, they lost both games, but they got there. Coming into Cowboys Stadium.
How do you play them for
it's
homecoming?
a Southland Well,
how do you do that?
Yeah, you're supposed to have a cupcake, right?
It's, it's supposed to be a cupcake. You're supposed to enjoy
it's just how the calendar fell.
It didn't fall
right.
right.
Homecoming is nearly as big a distraction as senior day. That's the one, if I'm a coach, I wish you could do away with senior day and just act
You have to do it, Scooter. You have to do it.
You got a banquet at the end of the year.
Yeah, you
where
do.
You
got to get the mamas and daddies out there.
You got to get them out there on the
All
field.
right, so you got Sam Houston with Bell and Timothy Flanders, really the top quarterback, running back tandem in the conference, no doubt. Flanders didn't have a whole lot of yards against Lamar. They really didn't do all that much. But again, open date favors the Cowboys. There's no doubt.
It does. You got that rest time.
I think open dates.
You got that rest time.
I didn't used to.
Yeah.
If you've got some people that's hurt, you can get them back.
Today's game, yeah.
Yeah, that's the plus.
Back when I was in school, old Charlie McClendon. One time, I forget who they were playing. It might have been Ole Miss. But both teams had an open date the week before.
Yeah.
And so old Max said, we're a little worried. We had a week off and good chance, we might be a little rusty. And of course, they've had 2 weeks to prepare for us.
Yeah, that's funny.
McNeese, Sam Houston, easily, because of the issues with the Cowboys over the last 2 or 3 seasons and not really being per se in the conference contention. They were, last year they were kind of in there. This really is the biggest game in about 5 years.
But they could have been if they had beaten Sam Houston over the last few.
You're right. Yeah, they were close last year. But this could very well be the biggest regular season game in about 5 years.
Rick,
this is the one that can really catapult them.
And I mean, you look at the Cowboys as to their playing ability from game one to now, that even makes it even more exciting because you kind of expect the Cowboys to be extremely tough on defense versus years past to where, you've had some breakdowns.
Yeah.
And coming against a team such as Sam Houston, I mean, you can't expect for this to be a heck of a game, honestly. When you matching their deep defense against their offense, I mean, the offense has always been a mainstay. But the deep defense is now, I mean, you've got a new look with Coach Lance Guidry. I'm excited to see exactly what that's going to do for them.
The biggest factor in this game right now for the Cowboys is because of Sam Houston and their attack. Because they can do it obviously with Flanders on the ground and Bell through the air to a degree, is the fact that the Cowboys are healthy. They didn't lose any critical players because, you only have so much
It's going to be exciting to see.
We know that hadn't been true in the last year.
It hasn't. Yeah. So now that one loss in the secondary or a linebacker being out, they got to get their linebackers. Their linebackers have not really played up to the level of the defensive line and their secondary. So if they get Thompson back and everybody healthy, that is the one key component to this game that is definitely in the plus column for McNeese, that they're healthy at defense.
Let me ask you this.
So it'll be a great game.
With the factors that you just talked about and know what you know now, what are your take on it?
Boy, it's tough. I mean, Sam Houston with a lot of returning players, and look, they're no slouches on defense either. They're no slouches on defense either. Home field, week off. The UCA win, huge to beat a nemesis like Central Arkansas. So yeah, I give
that had to be an eye.
I give
to
the
the
edge.
Cowboys,
They're not going to make any point spreads on this.
I'll
I would give the edge
Cowboys.
to the McNeese
I do,
Cowboys.
too.
I think they win in a close one. I'm not saying it's going to
be
down
close.
to the last possession.
It's going to be close,
barring turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, a game like this, a turnover at a critical time can turn the game. I
But
give
can
the
you
edge to
imagine what
McNeese.
this does for the Cowboys? I mean, to walk away with the win at home against a team such as Sam Houston?
Yeah, man, it's huge.
I mean, you have to shake your head and say, you know, is
this is a big game for the program. I think, you know, let's pray for good weather.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hopefully it's looking
McNeese
good.
is really putting a lot into this game. I'm talking about the team. Obviously, the team
Yeah.
is. But McNeese is an athletic program trying to get some of that magic back in Cowboy
15,
Stadium.
16,000 would help.
And it really, really helps.
Yes.
When you do that and come through.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you're right, Scooter.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Because
The
you're
Hall will
almost,
come back the next
you're
week.
almost saying to the fans that showed up, when you come out, look at what you can help us accomplish.
Yes.
To a standpoint.
Yes. The energy. We talked about Mac
To a
Viator last
standpoint.
week.
Yeah.
The energy
You have
of
to have
15 to
that.
16,000
You have to have
can be a factor in
Can
a
make a
game, in a
difference.
tight game like this.
It can make a
really
difference,
can. All
Rick.
right, up against the clock. We're going to leave it there. When we get back, it's these two guys.
I can't wait
You
for
want to
this.
grill me?
I've got mine.
You want to
I've got
grill me
mine.
about the
I've got
Saints?
my
I want to
voice.
talk about prevent defense
I've got-
too. Let's
yes,
not forget
let's talk
about
some
that.
about-
We're back in 2 minutes here at Jack Daniels. Stay close.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff60.com. Soundoff 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio was my choice.
Dr. Brett Cassio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Cassio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
Phil, if you guys have been here for 3 years, I see all the blue tags. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from all over Cameron, Hackberry, Southeast Texas, even from across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Iowa. So it's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us.
Like right now, we have big closeout savings on all our new 2013 Ford cars. $3,000 off MSRP on Focus, Fusion, Fiesta, Taurus, even Mustangs, $3,000 off.
So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Grab me one. It's Miller time!
But what if one of your crew is Ken Jung?
Zoink! What's with the pig? Wait.
No way! Did you teach him that?
Yeah, I did. Sorry I'm late. I came straight from work.
Man, this line's ridiculous.
No joke.
Ken,
I'm that guy from that thing! Give me one. Miller one. Man, hey, wait.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Rock and roll at its finest returns to Lauberge Casino October 25th. It's the Bare Naked Ladies, a big show coming up. Do not miss it. Bare Naked Ladies. They got a lot of music being played on satellite radio and Top 40 radio. These guys are very, very good. It's going to be a big show October 25th. Get your tickets now because they're still available and it will sell out. So don't wait too much longer. Okay. Word has gotten out. I don't know if it's viral or just word of mouth. I was on the charter plane with the Saints. I was a corporate suck up for the weekend.
Okay.
There I was.
Okay.
A corporate suck up with the team. I said it. I'll live by it. That's my story.
Okay. All right,
you know what I'm saying? It was a great trip. It was a great time. I got a little bit of a backstage peek of how they do with the planes and the schedules and the interaction of the guys on the plane. And I got an interesting story post game on the plane. I'm going to let you know.
Really? So you sat next to Drew Brees?
I did not. No, us corporate suck-ups. They do quarantine us, but interesting. Yeah. I will say this. I don't know how
if you're
it worked
familiar
out.
with airliners, it's a 767, which is a wide-body airplane.
Yeah. Huge plane.
I mean, way more than it's overkill.
Yeah.
But
to get 55 players there.
Rob Ryan is not a small man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was a section above, in front of us, in between the restrooms. So
it's normally the players in the back, coaches, and then media.
Well, it was.
And then
It was.
kind of
Here
goes
it
up
is.
like that.
There ain't no media on the plane.
They put the rookies.
Media,
they put the rookies in the back of the plane.
Really?
And then it was the corporate suck-ups. And then it was all the upperclassmen.
Really?
And then coaches are in the mix. Yes, how they
It's
did.
changed a lot.
But here
man.
I am,
Yeah.
little old
So
me.
who's in first class?
Huh?
The coaches?
Coaches.
Really, I don't really think there was a first class. Everybody
Really?
had the same kind of seats. But here's the difference. They had me and one of my associates in the exit aisle. My legs were, I could have put
you
down a mat
serious?
and slept.
What?
That's how much room I had. Rob Ryan, he's 5 rows ahead of me. He's out to here.
Yeah, he is.
He's jammed in like a telephone booth. I mean, I felt bad for the man. And here I am, my legs are stretched out. I had all kind of room. It was funny.
But
It
Rick,
was
you know
funny.
what? I guess.
So what's the mood on one of those planes going
Very
up?
quiet going
now,
up.
They went, that was actually, they left 2 days early,
They left
right?
Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah, we left Friday afternoon. They wanted
Yeah.
to get a workout in. I think they worked out at Brown University in Providence, Rhode
Yeah.
Island. Where they stayed.
So
In
what
Providence.
was very quiet going
Very
up?
quiet, yeah. And
Probably even quieter coming back. huh?
Somewhat, but I'll get to it now. We're walking up the back end of the plane, and we knew it was going to be a loss like that. They let it slip away. You can expect. Here I am. I'm walking, and again, I'm not a media member when I'm on this trip, and I'm not going to say anything out of school per se. But I did happen to walk by Kenny Vaccaro, and he's the first rounder in strong
rookie.
safety.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but, over here, he's talking to a guy across the aisle, and choice words, I can't repeat it, but I don't like passes in front of me. And he was commenting about prevent defense, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was the only guy I heard with earshot that was verbally still
Good rookie, though.
seething. Now, we got a chance to, Drew Brees wasn't around much, but at the end, before we left, here magically Drew Brees comes to our section to go get his snack bag. You could tell his body language, he was not happy. And he wasn't happy. But here's the difference. I was observing Peyton, Joe Vitt, and Rob Ryan, 3 of the key coaches. Body language, and Peyton came up to us in our section to whisper to some of the other guys, his administrators.
Yeah.
And you could tell in the NFL, you got to get over it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
I
you
got
gotta
the
move
feel
on.
that they were moving
gotta move on
already.
Yeah.
They're ticked off.
You
And they'll
gotta
watch
move
the
on.
film and get even
Yeah.
more ticked off.
But-
But the rookie was not over it yet.
Yeah.
And he high-strung rookie. Yeah.
And he's going to get even more so in the film room. I mean, because that's.
Is that about what you remember
God.
from
in
charter
the film,
flights?
you would rather stay at that game rather than have to watch that film among all your teammates.
This is going to hurt him.
I mean, you keep clicking it back and forth.
Yeah.
Guidry, really?
Yeah.
Come on now. You've been here how long?
Yeah.
and it teaches you a lesson to where, oh my God.
Yeah.
But the thing that I like to ask Rick is that, being around those guys and seeing those guys on television, some of them you probably never even met before, what's your take on an NFL player? All the money, got everything. But people,
It's tough
I
to
guess
say,
people
Kevin.
from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I want you to say
It's
what your
interesting.
take
Both
was. being
Hobbs and
around
I
those
can
type
both
guys.
kind of, and we've covered a lot of games. But this was my first foray into a quote charter plane. I've never traveled
I've
with
never
a team.
been on a team plane.
And we were limited. They asked us not to interact because it's a business trip for them.
Right.
So we were asked really not to interact. I kind of did a little bit.
Yeah.
I shook Peyton's hand. Hey, coach,
Yeah.
good luck, that whole thing. But they asked you not to do that. We see them post-game, pre-game as the media. So you don't get a true feel at times. At times. When you sit down with Mettenberger.
So you didn't feel like media?
No, I
That's
did not.
true. I mean, it is
no, I
totally
did not.
different.
And look, they're very subdued, very focused, knew what they had to do, polite.
Yeah.
I saw several of the guys taking pictures.
Right.
I ran into, and again, I'm not speaking out of school.
Yeah.
In the elevator, Kenny Stills, who caught the big touchdown.
Exactly.
We chatted in the elevator, and he seemed nervous. That's good luck to him. He said, I got to get to my room. Curfew. I'm going up to my room to get some. I'm not on curfew.
All right, so
But he had to be at 11 o'clock
I
curfew.
guess they took you. I have been at many hotels when teams arrive at the hotels. So where did y'all stay? How far from Foxborough?
About 30, 40-minute drive. And that stadium is out in the country.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
We took country roads
Really?
to it. And it's a beautiful stadium, a beautiful
Can
area.
you answer
But it was
this?
unusual.
This has nothing to do with behind
Very
the
unusual.
scenes. What in one end zone, there's this huge gap. Did you figure out what that is for at that stadium?
You mean in the stands and stuff?
Yeah.
Is that the north end
No.
zone? I think that's the
It's-
north
I mean,
end zone.
There's
isn't it,
like
Scooter?
a tower
That's
there.
the north
a
end zone, I
lighthouse.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little,
Why this
I don't know.
one gap?
I don't know.
I saw that. That's
I
the-
saw
yeah.
the
That's
walkway,
what you were supposed to find
walkway
out.
and concourses,
Yeah.
and it's a stadium that holds a
Now, they
fair
just
amount of-
had seats in the normal stands for it. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was next to the lighthouse thing. It was a beautiful stadium.
I've always thought it
so-
looked it always looks dank and dark at that
No,
stadium.
not at all.
Really?
No, not at all. It was a it was just stuck out in the country. It
Yeah.
really was. It was stuck out in the country. And yeah, look, they go first class, Kevin.
Yeah.
They go first class. They go first
yeah.
class food. They go first class
Yeah.
at the hotels. We stayed in Providence, Rhode Island, which is a nice city. Got lucky, me and my associates got lucky, walked downtown to their historic area and ran into a Little Italy festival. Right up my alley. Oh, yeah. Oh, beautiful day, all the Italians.
Unreal.
Great.
So y'all stayed in Providence?
In
Rhode
Providence.
Island?
Yeah.
That's where they stayed at the
So
Omni.
that's
It
where
was
y'all
great.
flew into?
Into
nice.
Providence on the charter, yeah. It was a great time, great time. Love to do it again.
Happy
All right.
for you, Rick, man, to make that
Unfortunately, I didn't give him any good luck.
That's okay.
But we want to get back on
Yeah,
prevent
you'll never
defense.
get invited again.
Oh, probably not. All right, we're up against the clock. When we come back, we'll get back on the Saints. We'll get back on LSU, so don't go far.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort, home of Soundoff 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see all the blue tags. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from all over Cameron, Hackberry, Southeast Texas, even from across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Iowa. So it's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us. Like right now, we have big closeout savings on all our new 2013 Ford cars. $3,000 off MSRP on Focus, Fusion, Fiesta, Taurus, even Mustangs, $3,000 off. So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're at Jack Daniels at Lauberge, where we always are. Great food, great times here at Jack Daniels, and the lovely ladies are always here, and they'll be coming up in the next segment to Stump the Wise Guys. Let's do a little poll watching. Upsets in college football and some near upset. Clemson, number 3, should be in the polls. Newspaper boys should be. I don't think they moved. They hold off and stay in that unbeaten.
You should have gone to that game.
Yeah.
That was in Boston. Why didn't you go?
No, we're going to go to the Little Italy Festival. What a great game.
Made that game.
And they got a big game. It would be 3 against 5 ACC matchup with Florida State. The biggest one, of course, is my dark horse for the BCS championship, Stanford. They lose at Utah. So they have a loss now.
Yeah.
A&M wins. They beat Ole Miss.
Oh,
We're
what's
going to
the
get on
surprising
that.
one? Last play of the game.
Alabama
Yeah, you're exactly right
continues
about
to
that
roll.
school.
There's no
Oh,
question.
gosh, they beat
No question.
Kentucky. Man.
But
I didn't see that one coming.
Kentucky, what was it, 62-7? Whatever.
Didn't see that one
So legitimately, at this panel, Alabama still consensus
They
number
are.
1 in Oregon.
They are.
And Clemson, I feel comfortable with that.
Oregon,
I
I
do.
tell you what,
Well,
Oregon, Bama better watch Oregon. Bama better watch Oregon.
Everybody
because-
gotta watch Oregon.
Why? They don't play them.
No, I'm saying the way they're
Coming.
playing.
That's
They
what I'm
might
talking
jump 'em.
about. That's what I'm
They
talking
may
about
jump
down the
them.
line.
Well, as long as you're the top 2, it doesn't matter.
So LS
You know, Clemson
and Georgia.
Clemson
That's
and
the one I
Florida-
wanted to mention.
Clemson and Florida. Well, Georgia is a shell of the team.
Well,
LSU
Georgia's
played 2
done.
weeks
I wish we could have beat them.
And that's sad.
It
Because
is. They're done.
that was a good
Yeah, they're
team,
done.
and they played their butts off
Yeah.
Saturday. I mean, to get back in that game and
I
then
agree,
Murray threw
Scooter.
an interception.
And he may be out. He may be out.
And where does
Murray's fine.
Where
He's
does
fine.
Missouri? I didn't even know Missouri was unbeaten. We've been
I didn't either.
you've
Georgia
been
was the
disrespecting
first
Missouri.
seed. Georgia was the first team
big
they
game.
played.
They actually played,
Yeah.
But that's scary, though,
and then
man.
they lose their quarterback.
Yeah,
now
that's
they've
scary.
lost their core.
Yeah.
I tell you who's shaping up for in the East is South Carolina.
Yeah. Now,
They've still just got the one loss.
Clowney. He's not even anywhere near Heisman.
No,
now,
he's-
is he? Look, I'm not gonna.
Look, Rick,
I'm not gonna.
look.
I don't know the guy. I don't follow their program. Is he looking toward the NFL, Kevin? You think?
Oh, I don't think he's in question.
I mean, is he playing safe?
I mean, Rick,
Is he playing safe?
I mean, the guy could have came out last year and went number 1. We all know that. But
he couldn't come out.
He couldn't. I don't know if somebody's in his ear saying, look, Lords of London is going to protect only so much, so this is what you need to do.
One tackle?
Yeah.
One tackle against Arkansas?
I don't know, Rick.
That's not an impact play. That's not an impact play.
You know, because but you can see where his play is dropped off. And I mean, they asked his coach. He said, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, all right. Ole Miss, LSU this weekend, Oxford at the Grove.
That's going to be a heck of a game.
Ole Miss, doggone it. They stretched Texas A&M.
They stretched them big time. They stretched them big time, man.
Well,
what do you think?
Them and A&M are very similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ole Miss's offense has been good against bad defenses, but hasn't done much against good to decent defenses. So I think it's a good trap game for LSU, maybe, but otherwise,
don't say that, Scooter.
If LSU can play as physically as they did against Florida, and I mean, I think Ole Miss Ole Miss drove LSU crazy last year with pretty much the same offense. But they are really beat up, particularly on defense. I don't see how they slow LSU down.
They actually have two starters that's out. One of the corners and one of the linebackers probably won't be playing. But the thing that surprised me was that looking at A&M and how they kept A&M, I mean, they were giving A&M everything they could.
Well, that didn't shock me. A&M's defense isn't any good.
No, they're not. They're really not.
Well,
but
they're really not.
One thing, we want to talk about LSU. Everybody's talking about the defense. I was just as impressed with the improvement in their offensive line. Now, they had, just for the simple fact, they had been running up a lot of pretty good number on rushing yards, but it was a little bit misleading. A lot of those rushing totals and rushing averages were the long runs that Hill would break.
Correct.
I hadn't seen LSU just be able to line up and run
consistently.
Nor had they done a particularly great job, not bad, but not great, at protecting Mettenberg.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was you can talk about Florida's offense wasn't very good, but Florida's defense was fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And LSU's offensive line just lined up and ran over them.
Yeah. That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. Florida had been averaging 17 to 14
they didn't get
points
anywhere
a
near.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, on their
And
opponent.
they didn't get anywhere near Mettenberg.
No, they didn't.
Okay. All right. So look, you go on the road in the SEC. You got to take it serious. You got to take it concern. But you don't think Ole Miss's defense can match up with all the skill people?
So. I mean, I don't.
That LSU
I think LSU
let's get on this 2014 committee that's going to settle the playoff. Now the names: Jeff Long, who is the Arkansas AD, is going to chair the panel. Oliver Luck, AD West Virginia. Barry Alvarez, AD Wisconsin's on this very important panel. It's a 13-member committee. Pat Hayden, AD at Southern Cal. Condoleezza Rice, what did I say?
You missed.
Clemson AD, what's his name?
Dan Radakovich, he's the one I'm good friends with.
So another AD. Condoleezza Rice from the Clinton administration, former Secretary of State. You got Tom Osborne, you got Tyrone Willingham from Notre Dame and Stanford. Archie Manning is on the committee. And a media member, former sports writer, Steve Weinberg.
Why did they put a sports writer on?
Should have been you, Scooter.
All right, so
I would have respectfully
13-member panel. Is this something that I don't know? I'm okay with this. I kind of expected it.
I don't have any problem with any single member there.
All smart people. Very
they
entrenched in college football.
Jeff Long will be the chairman. I think he got a lot of respect nationwide, the way he handled that Bobby Petrino situation at Arkansas. I don't have a big problem
Anti-SEC people will say, oh, here it goes.
That's what I was just going to say, Rick.
But somebody's got to chair it.
Well, Dan Radakovich, the Clemson
and the thing
AD,
that gets me
was at LSU for years.
Was he?
The thing that gets me is this.
I know him very well.
I don't know his history.
How can you have the best conference in America and you don't have a person on that would be representing that?
Well, you do.
Am I right?
Jeff Long, Arkansas AD.
Okay, what?
Yeah.
The only one? But he's the only one.
You want more. Kevin wants more.
No, I don't want more. But he's the only one.
Archie Manning. Now who?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Archie Manning, is the godfather of the SEC.
Archie is kind of a quasi-media guy.
Guys,
Condoleezza Rice is from Alabama. She went to Stanford.
Who will this affect probably more so than any other conference in America? Would probably be the SEC, correct?
It's a 14 playoff. All right, Kevin. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just
like
saying.
I said, individually, I don't have a problem.
I'm just saying. Okay.
I mean, if you can question Tom Osborne's ethics, good luck
Nebraska.
to you.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with anybody on there. And it's not a huge sticking point to me, but I'm just thinking.
I don't
there
know.
There are plenty of retired, say an Archie Manning, plenty of great retired coaches out there who really could, spend dawn till 2 a.m. watching football.
Very
every
good
Saturday.
point. Very good point.
These working
Half
ADs,
of them work. All of them work.
I mean, they're not going to watch any game
You're right.
of their own.
But these guys, everybody's got allegiances. These guys will have allegiances.
I'm not
Even
worried
the
about
retired
it.
guys
I'm
will
not
have
worried
allegiances.
about it. Well, I'm not worried about it.
Everybody's got that.
I guess I'm not the conspiracy.
You're looking at it from a functionality standpoint.
I'm just looking at it, and it does take.
Throwing away.
Even if you get retired guys, they got some allegiance.
Of course, that's my point. Yeah.
So,
Everybody
I'm
does.
sure,
Everybody
if
does.
Dan Radakovich, the Clemson AD, if Clemson is in discussion, he'll leave the room.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I know. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. Put him on there. Bill Clinton. All right. We're up against the clock. The beautiful ladies coming up next. Stump the Wise guys. We'll do that. Maybe some high school rundowns coming up. Are you with me, Kevin?
I'm with you.
You with me? All right.
All the way.
Your attention is now swayed. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Stay right here.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort.
Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see all the blue tags. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from all over Cameron, Hackberry, Southeast Texas, even from across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Ioway. So it's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us.
Like right now, we have big closeout savings on all our new 2013 Ford cars. $3,000 off MSRP on Focus, Fusion, Fiesta, Taurus, even Mustangs, $3,000 off. So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Casio is my choice.
Dr. Brett Casio is fellowship trained and board certified in both orthopedics and sports medicine. He has the tools, techniques, and experience to get athletes back on the field of play. Call 337-494-4900.
Dr. Brent Casio is the official sports medicine physician of Soundoff 60.
Wow. What? See what I see?
You know I see it. I seen it before you did.
Come on, man. You know I saw that before you even said anything.
Say what?
Tell me what you see.
You already know what I'm seeing.
So you see what I'm saying, right?
I saw it. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking right at it.
Right there.
The new bottle? What's there to say?
The new Miller Lite bottle. Find one at a bar near you.
Glad to have you back. Glad you're spending some time with us this evening. We got the best portion of the show right here. Stump the Wise guys, the lovely ladies of Jack Daniels and Lauberge. Let me slow down, get this right. Callie and Kayla.
Callie on the left, Kayla on the right.
That's
Kaylee.
Too much K.
Kaylee and
I'm not working on much sleep, ladies. All right, y'all ready? Okay,
Yes,
what do you
we
think?
are.
You've looked at the questions. What do you think? Y'all are both veterans. Y'all know us well. Y'all know we're stupid at times.
Hey, wait.
So what do you think the odds are we're going to get stumped with these?
Y'all should get mine.
I think you'll get these.
All
Okay.
right, we're shooting for 100%.
Who's gonna be up
Here
first?
we go. I like
I
that.
usually
Okay.
can tell with the first question.
The
Yeah.
first question, what do we
Yeah.
have?
Normally
Who's
what we
number
got.
one?
Up until recently, New England quarterback Tom Brady was in reach of trying what record set by Saints quarterback Drew Brees?
Most consecutive games with a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Man,
you
wouldn't it have
stopped
been something if
You said that
he
last
had gotten
week.
one last week.
Exactly.
But he didn't have one yesterday until that
You're
game
right,
winner.
the last
Right.
5
You're right,
seconds.
Scooter.
You got to
You're right.
remind
Isn't
us,
that crazy?
Hobbs. Good point.
That's
All right,
crazy, it
Kayla,
is.
you're up.
She's
Here we go.
Here
I
we
had
go.
number 2.
2 in a row.
All right. Breeze and Brady share what link in their college football career? Small hint, think geography.
Big Ten. Big Ten.
Big Ten?
Yeah. Purdue and Michigan.
Michigan.
Right?
Purdue and Michigan, yeah.
Purdue and Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 All right. I think we're right. We're not going to
Yeah.
get stumped on that.
How's that
Breeze,
geography?
Breeze, Purdue.
Oh, is that location?
Okay, here we
All
go.
right, number 3. Breeze and Brady's respective head coaches, Sean Payton and Bill Belichick, share a unique common thread. And no, it's not just winning a Super Bowl title. What is it?
Wait a minute. Not just
All right,
winning a Super Bowl
Payton
title.
and Belichick.
Yeah,
Peyton
share
and Bill.
that. They share a common thread by not just winning a Super Bowl. Having coached with the same. Wait a minute.
He's on to
I
it.
can't name it, but I'm trying to say it.
Coaching tree.
That's
Bill
what I want to say,
Parcells.
Rick. That's what I want to say.
Peyton worked with Parcells
Boom,
in
yeah.
New York and
I didn't know
Dallas.
Belichick.
Belichick was on the
Booyah.
Super Bowl.
All right,
Super
all
Bowl
right.
25. He was on the
Yes,
staff.
you're right,
Yeah.
Rick.
The coaching tree. And you know what's interesting? The Belichick coaching tree is not Romeo Crennel out of the
Yeah.
league. Eric Mangini out of the
falling
league.
off a little bit.
Josh McDaniel back on
Nick
up a little bit.
Saban.
Good point.
Yeah.
Touche. 1 out of 4.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What 3 major NFL awards and honors do Breeze and Brady have in common?
Oh, it's Breeze and Brady night.
One is the MVP, Super Bowl.
Good one.
Yeah, one
And the
is,
next one is going to be
league MVP.
the league MVP. And the third one would be. God,
Well,
dog,
probably
What
some
other
Associated
awards
Press
are there?
NFL Player of the Year, which is like league MVP.
but that's
I
the
guess.
league MVP.
Man of the year. It's a different
Y'all are
award.
fishing for it. Y'all fishing hard.
No, Man of the Year is an award,
Like-
and I think they
like-
They
both
both.
won it.
They both.
Yeah, almost.
How about Pro Bowl? Something with the Pro Bowl.
All Pro.
Close.
Pro Bowl. All Pro.
Booyah.
Yeah, we got
Super
it.
Bowl
We
MVP,
got it.
NFL Player
Well,
of
I
the
know,
Year,
yeah.
and NFL All-Pro honors.
Ladies,
I think they have
They
also
nailed
both
it.
been
Yeah,
NFL
right.
who's
Man
the
of
hammer
Year.
and who's the nail? Huh? Who's the hammer and who's the nail of this group? Huh? Thank you, ladies.
Great
We
job,
appreciate it.
ladies.
We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
guys.
We were not stumped tonight. Breeze and Brady
All
night.
right.
All right, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, high school football. Barr bounces back. They win
Yeah.
big against Lafayette. They got New Iberia. Sulphur, some turnover issues.
Yeah.
They lose to Karen Crow. I don't know. Up and down Sulphur Golden Tour.
They are.
But this is
They are.
rebuilding now. New coach. You
Yeah.
know, let's not count. They got a big matchup with Barb. Not many people are going to beat Barb. I'm not saying
No,
Sulphur will
no.
beat them. But again,
Barb is
this is
just
a
too
rebuilding
disciplined
program.
right now. Too disciplined.
Lagrange, I made a couple. I
They
was
had
out
to
of
win.
town all weekend, but
They
they
had to win.
got to win.
Yeah,
First
they had to win.
one.
Congratulations to Sullins.
They beat Eunice, and they got Crowley coming
Freddie's
in
doing
Thursday
pretty good.
night.
Freddie's doing pretty good over at Washington Marion.
Washington
They had
Marion,
another
second win.
Yeah.
Second win.
They had
And
another
they're
win.
going to host Bo Shin.
Yeah.
Something we didn't talk about last week, guys, and we were remiss in not doing it, and we apologize. But St. Louis head coach Mike Johns, 2 weeks ago, announced that this would be his final year after 48 years.
48 years
of high school coaching.
Can you believe that?
48 years.
That's unreal.
And
that's unreal. 48
congratulations.
years.
And yeah,
We
I'm
gotta
sure
have
it
him
would
on,
be great
though.
if Mike could have made
We
it to
gotta
50.
have him on.
You know,
Yeah.
that magical 50, but maybe it's time. Maybe it's time that he puts his feet up and relaxes after all that he has gone through with fighting cancer.
You can believe, though, by
48
him stepping down, he's going to still be around the game.
Oh,
it's
I'm
just
sure.
in him.
And
It's
you know,
just in him
look,
to do
the
so.
Saints are rebuilding. They're
Just
not
in
having
him.
a great year. They lose again. But again, the transition from Mike Johns to whoever they select as a coach has already begun.
Yeah.
But this is a program that's steeped in his tradition because he's
It
been
is.
there a number of
It
years.
is.
But again, from Soundoff,
we love him.
congratulations to
I
Mike
mean, we love
Johns
him. We love him.
for going there. And so there's kind of your high school matchup, and they're going to play at Iowa.
Yeah.
You know. Iowa.
I know.
You know. All right, I've been holding this, a little press release.
What
I
is
wanted to
that
get
now?
this in. November 14th, the home game for the McNeese Cowgirls with Rice. Rice is coming into Burton Coliseum.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. You know my opinion on this. They're going to retire the jerseys of Ashlyn
Baggett
and
twins.
Caitlin Baggett, number 10 and number 11.
That's
November
pretty cool,
14th,
man.
the Rice
That's pretty
game.
cool.
If any jerseys
That's pretty
get
cool.
retired, it's going to be this. All right, the Saints
We need to have
with a
them on
bye
the show
week.
when they retire the jerseys. We
Not
need
a
to have
bad
them on the
idea,
show.
Kevin.
We do. Need to have
Bye
him
week
on.
for the Saints, good time for it. After a loss
Oh,
on
it
the
is.
road against.
Oh, it
yes,
is.
I agree.
Oh, it is.
You got your eyebrows
Regroup.
up.
Just
What do you
regroup.
say? Get back on the field
Just
and get
regroup.
over it?
Yeah,
No,
I
just
think
regroup.
it'll
Yeah, but Jimmy Young, Jimmy Graham,
Jimmy
kind of
Graham.
nicked up
Gotta
a
get
little
him
bit.
well.
Okay.
You know, they need a little time away and let this soak in. Let it simmer. I want them to
Let me
seethe
just say-
about this a little bit. Quickly.
Guys, Lil Man, do you see how big a part of the offense Sproles is? Oh my God!
But they took
Take him out
too.
there quick. But Rick, he was the reason why they were still in it.
I know, but they took
Take him out, man. You in
I thought
trouble.
the Saints really played bad the first half.
They didn't.
And I thought they played much better the second half.
Yeah.
And, you know, things
I'm not
happen.
letting you off the hook. Next week we'll talk prevent
Let's
defense.
talk about it. I want to, Rick.
We
I'm
might
gonna have my
get-
chalkboard.
We might get
I
on
wanna
the
have my
floor, and
chalkboard.
you might
Oh,
want
you
to
were
wanna have my
gone, so
chalkboard.
you didn't hear the big buzz around town.
make it quick.
Texas upsetting Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was my upset special in my
Was it
picks
really? I
didn't
column
see that.
Saturday
I didn't
morning.
see
So
that.
that gave Mac another week.
Yeah.
Another week. Up against the clock.
You
We'll
ran
see you
in
next
here
time,
first.
everybody. So long.
Yeah.
Soundoff 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at Lauberge Casino Resort. Soundoff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Soundoff 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.